Well, let's start out today's show. We'll talk a little bit about wrestling.
Yeah, we haven't talked wrestling.
We haven't talked wrestling in a while. Well, after WrestleMania, who wants to really talk wrestling?
No doubt.
But Raw it's been getting better. Big story though is Ryback. If you don't know, basically, well, the first thing that was hilarious was the pay-per-view on Sunday. Ryback's gear said the pre-show stopper because he's been the pre-show for the past whatever. I mean, for a while now.
Yeah.
But basically, he put out this whole Twitter post, and apparently he was just really fed up with being Ryback. You know, with not having a big spot in the company. He felt like he was putting a lot of work into it, not getting a lot out of it. He disagreed with the pay scale. Basically what he said was, you've got a sport that's predetermined. You've got your winners and your losers. Why are your guys who are winners getting paid more? You know, he's like, it takes two to tango is basically what he's saying. And certain guys are getting paid a lot more. And I don't know. I'm kind of all over the spectrum on that one.
Oh, right. 'Cause
I definitely get his frustration.
Yeah.
He's
been around a few years, and never really got a big push. I mean, his initial when he first showed up, he was supposed to be the new. What's the phrase we like to use? Unstoppable force.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is every single guy that shows up lately, though. So.
Yeah. And then they never did anything with him.
No. Just failed gimmick after failed gimmick after failed push. And you got to wonder if that's him or if that's them.
Right.
Part of me it's hard not to sympathize with a guy in a Roman Reigns world.
Yeah.
Where they will push a guy to that frickin' moon, and regardless of what people say, they will still push him. And then you're sitting back there like, I was moderately over. Why did I not?
Right.
Why were they not behind me like they're behind him?
Right.
I get that 100%.
Yeah.
And his contract isn't even up yet. Apparently, he just told them, if you're not going to do anything with me, I don't want to be here.
Right.
Which, I got to say, I respect that quite a bit from the guy.
Especially, I mean, get out, as with most athletes, it's like they catch a lot of slack, but it's like, you know what, I'd rather retire at, 36, 37 years old while I can still walk. And, and I have a feeling, though, I mean, I would love to see him show up with, maybe TNA or... personally, man.
Really? Have you been watching TNA?
Well, it's still a chance for him to wrestle.
Yeah.
If anything, you know what? And I'm just throwing this out there. Throw him into frickin' Lucha.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing, and it's like all those middle card, like Lucha hasn't pushed any like heavyweights, and just for the sake of giving the guy, let's say 3 months or 6 months of work. Have him come in and be that, the American brute that can, and...
Well, they got a guy named Cage, but he'd work good against Cage. And he's not a bad worker by any means of their stretch of the imagination. I mean, he's a decent big guy.
All right.
Which, however much that I'm not a huge fan of liking a guy just because he's big.
Yeah.
Right.
If he's agile,
we gotta stick together, man. We all gotta. We gotta support our kind.
But like if like a guy like Undertaker,
right?
Is a guy that impresses me who can move, with his size.
Yeah.
And Ryback definitely can. I mean, he can do stuff off the top rope and everything. So he's not just a.
I could. Yeah.
Not a Khali type, if you will.
Right. I miss Khali.
Wow.
El Gigantor. No, what was his name? Is it Gigantor?
No, just Khali.
Was he before that? El Gigante.
That was a totally different guy. Oh. like 20 years ago.
You don't know.
Hey.
They could be the same guy. Kyle.
No, they're not. I know
they could.
When
be.
You're watching,
one's Mexican, one's Indian.
They could be the same guy.
Yeah.
But they're not.
When you're watching
Kane
online,
used to be a
it's all the
dentist.
same time.
Kane used to be a dentist.
And he was also
gave up 8 years of dental school to pursue his dreams
of being a burn victim.
If only his brother, the Undertaker, had not started that fire.
Yep. But yeah, it's and another thing too was he was talking about creative, which was his biggest thing because he said, we could agree kind of on money and stuff like that, but I just really creatively I felt like I was in a rut, and I 100% get that. If this is your dream all the time, I mean, you get kind of to the mid card with that Intercontinental title, and you kind of get a push and stuff like that, and then. Only to be told, and once again, there's only so many spots, so you get it, but only to be told, this ain't for you. This is for baby blue eyes.
So, like,
I can't cut a promo, Roman.
Here's kind of my question on that end, too, I guess, is for WWE, if you're watching.
And they do.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, I understand that they're not going to listen to us. I've accepted that fact. That is a known at this point. Yeah. But how many superstars are you going to lose for the same reasons before you start...
listening,
maybe changing things up a little bit, like,
and I'm with you 100%, and we've said that, and then it's funny because it's like with many of these industries, and we could definitely say the same about comics and all that fun stuff, but with wrestling, I mean, it's like, okay, you have your fan base, you have an established fan base, and at this point in time, is like when that entire fan base is just saying move on.
Yeah.
Overwhelmingly, 70, 80%, and not that we've taken any formulaic polls or anything, but
Jason Todd, anyone?
Hey, it's like, where it's like, just listen and say, hey, you know what? And, maybe it's at that point where you start going the fan vote route, or even, try it for a month.
Yeah.
Try it. Just you name it, have it be their new whatever, that can be their new whatever pay-per-view. But just or let's say first Raw of every month, first pay-per-view of every month is a fan decided show.
Yep.
Well, they used to do that with the Cyber Sunday and the Taboo Tuesday. To their credit, though, they have been pushing new talent. Payback was actually a decent pay-per-view. Well. They had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn fight, which. They had the story, which is that, Kevin Owens beat up Sami Zayn right before. And, oh my God, just a basic storyline where one guy doesn't like another guy. Yeah. I was blown away that, that they could still... It's so easy. Like, why can't they just dislike each other?
Yep.
It's like, we used to be brothers, but you stabbed me in the back. That's all I need. Yeah. That's all I need. I don't need all this other bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. But that was a great match, and then they actually had AJ Styles was in the main event,
right
against Roman Reigns.
That's awesome.
And they booked him really strong too, because it was overbooked. It was 2 false finishes, and then Roman won the final third one. But the final 2 false finishes went in AJ's favor.
Okay.
So I mean, they booked him strong. They didn't just book him, here's this guy and he'll lose and that'll be it. They're listening to the crowd for AJ Styles because he's over. He's really over. And
and I'm happy to see him back in action, and he's looking in pretty good shape. And
oh yeah, he looks. One would say phenomenal.
Hilarious.
But yeah, Roman just get rid of it.
Yeah.